Hey guys, Ace here and welcome to C++ tutorial number 21. Today, because we've already covered integer arrays and character arrays, integer arrays are the same pretty much as double and float arrays. So the only other type that's left really is bool, and as far as I'm aware you can't make a bool array, and if you can, actually you probably can, but what's the point? And if you can probably figure it out yourselves. You don't need to be walked through it. There's no special functions for bool arrays as far as I'm aware, so you don't need to be walked through them specially. So give it a go if you want. But anyway, in this tutorial we're going to be looking at multi-dimensional arrays. Just to demonstrate this, I'm making a normal array, which just has one layer, and then I'm making a multi-dimensional array, and I'm showing initialization with a normal array, and then initialization with the multi-dimensional array, and outputting the normal array and outputting the multi-dimensional array. So basically we're doing all these steps, and I'm showing you how they are done in single dimensioned arrays and multi-dimensional arrays. So what's important to understand is basically how a multi-dimensional array works. So basically what I've done here is I've said a normal array. I've declared an array, an integer array called normal array, and given it 5 elements. I've said it has 5 elements, and it would look something like this. Okay. Now I've declared a multi-dimensional array with 5 rows. This is what this first number is. This is the rows, and 5 columns. The second number is the amount of columns. And so to figure out how many elements it has, you just times these two numbers. So it has 25 elements, and it looks something like this. Okay, so you can see 5 rows. Sorry, 5 rows. Oops. 5 rows is that way, and 5. No, that's columns actually. So no, wait, I was right. 5 rows, sorry about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, okay? Just because these numbers are both the same, it might be a little bit difficult to understand. So I'm going to change the second number to 2. That means we have 5 rows, but only 2 columns. So what we have to do is we're taking away these. Okay, and now this is what this array would look like, because it's got 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but only 2 columns. Okay, 1, 2. So hopefully that gives everyone a good idea of what a multi-dimensional array looks like and how it works. Now let's look at initializing multi-dimensional arrays. With normal array, remember, we use a for loop. Remember, this is only if you want to do it quickly and you want to increment it, like, say you want to put the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't want to have to do it manually, you just use a for loop. You use one single for loop like this. Int I equals 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. Normal array I is equal to I plus 1. That gives it 1 through 5. With a multi-dimensional array, because we have 2 dimensions, we need 2 for loops. Okay, so the way this works is that we're saying we make the first for loop, I is less than 5, and we make the second for loop, while j is less than 5. Multi-dimensional array ij is equal to j plus 1. What this is going to do, if you think about it, for instance, in order to understand something, it's always a good idea to imagine yourself at a certain point in the middle of a loop. So in this case, I'm going to imagine at this current moment that I is let's say I is 3. The I variable is equal to 3, and the j variable is equal to 2. So what it's going to say is, look in multi-dimensional array 3, 2, which should be the row first, 1, 2, 3, 4, but remember, because we got that 0 offset. So this is where the I value is taking us, and then the j was 2, so that's the third element. So we're looking at this element in the array. And now assign it a value of j plus 1. So j was 2, plus 1 makes it 3. So now this value would be 3. Okay. Let's do it for the 3, 1. That will mean we're looking at this element, and j plus 1, j was 1, so j plus 1 is 2, sorry. For this element, it's 3, 0, j plus 1 is 1. For this, it's 3, 4, sorry, 3, 3, that's that element, and 3 plus 1, 4. This one, 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, so now we can see we've already filled in one row of our multi-dimensional array, and hopefully now you guys sort of understand how this works. Let's change row. Okay, so now we're going to imagine that I is equal to 4. Actually, not 4. Let's imagine it's equal to 0, so we're right on the first row. And j is equal to 4 as well. Sorry, 0 and j is equal to 4. So we're on the last element, and so this element is equal to j plus 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. And what we're going to find is that C++ is just going to go through all these rows and fill them in with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm not going to carry on filling that out. I'm sure you can imagine it in your head yourself. And now we come on to outputting. Outputting is real easy. I'm sure all of you can understand it. So again, just one for loop for the normal array, 2 for loops for the multi-dimensional array, and we're just going to output multi-dimensional array ij. Simple as that. And just a line break as well every row. That would be. Yep. Okay. Remember, this count statement is in line with this for loop, so that means we're going to have a carriage return every I iteration, and I is the row. Remember, I is the first one, and the first one is the row. So every row, it's going to do a carriage return, okay, and go back to there. So let's give this a go. Let's run this. Okay, as we can see, we have the normal loop. It outputs just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have our multi-dimensional array. Sorry, normal array, not normal loop. Don't know what I was thinking. And then we have our multi-dimensional array outputting as I suggested. Okay. So that basically covers multi-dimensional arrays. We're just gonna go over like initialization in other ways and stuff. So let me just comment this stuff out. Yep. Okay. Right. There we go. Sorry guys, bear with me. Okay. Another way to initialize multi-dimensional arrays is to do it in a way that we already know, where we do it at the same time as we declare it. That's the only time we're allowed to do it, and we just say the array is equal to, and then curly braces, and then the values. Now C++, being such a clever language, will it won't try and put 4 elements in the first row, because this is this array we can see shows that we're only allowed 2 elements every row. So C++, being such a clever language, will guess, okay, I've got 4 elements, and I'm only allowed to put 2 in each row. So I'll just split these up, and I'll put the first 2 in the first row, and then the second 2 in the second row. And that should be like that. Okay, so this is one way we can do it, and this is just another for loop which outputs it. Let's give this a go. As we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, each on the 2 pairs have been split up because C++ is a clever language. Now, because when you get big arrays, this can be really hard to read, and you have to keep referring back to how many rows, how many elements in each row are allowed. C++ actually allows you to do it in a more user-friendly way, or a more reader-friendly way, sorry, whereby we can put curly braces around each pair. Or in this case, it's a pair, but basically around each row. And in this way, we can read the array really, really easily. Okay.